Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel. Okay, when you read about the Syrophoenician woman that came to Christ because her daughter was demon possessed, you know the story. Christ walked away, the woman kept stalking him, and Peter, let me say the disciples became upset after a while, and Peter urged the Lord, "Lord, please send her away, she's bothering us." Imagine this, you have this woman with her child screaming after you all throughout town. You would get very uncomfortable, wouldn't you? So Christ kept on pretending as if he didn't want to help her. Christ acted in an avoidant manner. And now you may ask, why did the Lord act so dumb? I mean, the female, obviously, she had a real need. Her child was demon possessed. There was a demon holding on to her child. Why did Christ act in such a way? If anyone would act in such a way today, whether it's a pastor or a minister, we would say that that individual needs to go to jail because someone has a real need, you're appointed to the job and you're neglecting. No, Christ was not neglecting her. This was what was happening. She kept going after Christ, right? She was not going after those other men that she was sleeping with whom she had that child. She got the child with someone. Why was the man there asking help to Christ? Or was the father of the kid? She didn't go after her lovers. She did not go after friends. She did not go after witchcraft. She did not go after idols. She went after Christ. And while she went after Christ, because she had faith, her faith grew. And while her faith grew, she was delivered. So Christ was delivering her. But the deliverance did not happen in a way the disciples expected. So what happened? The disciples only saw what was going on. And they were uncomfortable with what was going on. And you can't blame them. If you have a woman that's crying and screaming after you, causing contention, people are looking at you, it's not comfortable. But Christ caused her to do that. Yeah, she did, but Christ knew she was desperate, and Christ took advantage of it so that she would be delivered. Christ was not an egomaniac. Christ was not a narcissist that wanted to have attention. Christ didn't have the need to be needed or anything like that. He was after her long-term benefit. But the disciples did not understand it. That woman had more faith than the disciples. When you look at it, at that time. Now, why am I mentioning this? It is because too often, and I'm talking to believers now, okay? Too often we expect good beginnings. I've made a video about this a while ago already. And I'm repeating on to you, stop expecting everything to begin good in your life. Stop doing that. I say directly to you, stop expecting things to start off good in your life. You know why? Because in this case, with a Syrophoenician woman, the whole encounter didn't start good. The woman was in need. Her child was more in need. The child had a demon. Where was the husband of hers? Where was the father of that kid? Bad situation. Christ could have just cast the devil out. It would have been done with. No. Christ was after her long-term benefit. Not only her long-term benefit, but also long-term benefit of her daughter and the long-term benefit of everyone who would hear her testimony. Christ looked at the bigger picture. The disciples didn't look at the bigger picture. So what was uncomfortable then was only a short-term suffering for both her and the disciples so that God would be glorified. But they didn't look at that. They were only into what they were encountering. They were into their own expectations. Okay, when you go to Genesis, when God created the heavens and the earth, there was no evil then, there was no decay nor any of that. But when you read carefully, the creation process was a mess. And it's out of that chaos that the Lord made order. And every time, every day that passed by and he accomplished something, he said it was good. So hold on a minute. Why didn't the Most High just visualize it and bang, it was there? Why didn't he do that? Because what he did was to teach us, okay? He was teaching us, he was discipling us even before we came into existence. He did it in the way he made heaven and earth. So if the Moses himself preferred a chaotic mess to work out his purpose, he did not choose evil, he did not choose decay because there wasn't no decay nor any of that, but he chose chaos, natural chaos. I'm not talking about, let's say there's a disease and a lot of people die. I'm not talking about, and there's all kinds of stress. I'm not talking about that. The Most High chose natural chaos to work out his purpose of establishing heaven and earth. If he, the Creator himself, who has all the knowledge, preferred chaos to begin with, then why are his believers so keen on wanting everything to start off good? We want things to start in order. We are so obsessed with it. And from a human point of view, it's understandable. But hold on a minute, when you look at it from the wider perspective, it doesn't end up. Because it's this longing for good beginnings that the devil is using to keep people trapped. This longing onto good beginnings can kill you, literally. Okay, let me give an example. Because after time now, you're a young, okay, not a young woman, okay, you've been divorced, okay, your husband was a narcissist, he was out of his mind, and now you don't want someone like that anymore. Now you want a man who's more serious. And then 2 years later, you meet someone at church, and it all starts off well. He knows how to shut up. He knows when to shut up. I mean, he knows how to treat you. He knows what to say, what not to say. He reads his Bible. He prays every day, and he can also sing. He has his job. He has no record. So you think, oh, praise the Lord. And you think your prayers are answered. 10 years into the marriage, you are in a hospital because one of his side, they call it side chicks in the streets, one of his mistresses, let me say it like that, stabbed you. What happened? It all started off well. You wanted a good beginning and you got a good beginning. But that good beginning was not God's will. But it was a good beginning, and it did bring benefits, but the benefits were short-lived. Okay, another example here, and this is very common. You are in a need, okay? There's nothing wrong with being in a need. You're a human being, you have needs, okay? Let's say you have relatives that don't treat you well, and you have the environment that sees that you've been messed up by your family, and they also treat you bad because they don't want to have responsibility towards you. So the people around you are negative-minded towards you. That's their wrong. They shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't bring that negativity upon themselves. Because, well, while they were doing that, they're bringing negativity upon themselves. They're attracting demons to themselves. They don't realize that anyway, they shouldn't be negative towards you. And you now, you don't want this. You don't want all this consequence upon you. You just want to be accepted. You want things to work out for you. So, one day at a supermarket, you bounce into someone and you ended up talking, and you become friends, and he or she introduces you to his or her friends, and soon you have people. You have people that appreciate you, people that motivate you, that tell you the truth in a loving manner to help you. So you think, oh, great. Now what's going on here? You are being led into a cult now, but you're not aware it's a cult. Because here's the thing, that guy or that woman you bounce into, he or she and some of his or her cult members have been watching you for a while, and they noticed you had a need. They noticed that indeed you needed help, and they chose to lure you in to join their cult, and it worked. Without you being aware of it, you've become adapted to the cult, and you begin to act out the vision of the cult. So you join the cult without you being aware of it. Why? Things started off good. Now, listen what I'm saying here. There's nothing wrong with things starting good, okay? Don't get me wrong here, there's nothing wrong with something starting good. But your attitude shouldn't be that you hold on to good beginnings. And that is what I'm teaching you here. Don't hold on to good beginnings. have a confident expectation of good. That's what you should have. There's a difference between a confident expectation of good and holding on to good beginnings. Know that difference. Most people, they hold on to good beginnings and they think that's fate. They think they're motivated. You're trapped. Have a confident expectation of good. No matter what happens, it works out well in your long-term benefit. So yes, there will be bad stuff happening. There will be things happening that you don't want to happen. And there are things that will happen that to you by other people that shouldn't happen, but because you walk by faith, what was done to you is now turned around and being something done for you in the long term. What happened was bad, but it happened, but it now will have to work out in your long-term benefit. So eventually it was on for you in a covert manner. Look, about me, the Most High separated me from a lot of people. The Holy Spirit caused people to throw me away. And I was thinking, what's going on? But now I see it. A lot of those people that the Most High removed from me, they're holding on to the negative. They have no intention of giving up and growing. They have no intention of such stuff. So what will happen if they remain around me? They would hinder me in doing God's will. And if that would have happened, you wouldn't be watching this video now. You wouldn't have all those videos with all those teachings. Because I know for sure many people that throw me away would resist me or would bother me if they were around. So understand that walking by faith does not mean that nothing bad will happen. But walking by faith means that you overrule all that will happen, good or bad. Why? Because you overcome evil with good. So you overrule evil with good. Evil is there, you acknowledge it, but you overrule it. How? You walk by faith. Well, that's it for now. Just understand this, that there are times, not there are times, okay, let me say it like this. Just like that Syrophoenician lady, the Lord is dragging you after him. That's why you don't get answers to your prayers the way you expected. That's why you have questions and you want answers, but you don't get any answers. That's why you want the situation to be resolved, but it keeps getting worse. The Lord is dragging you away from Babylon so that you will rely upon him. That's what he's doing. But you're not aware of it. Your environment's not aware of it, but don't bother with it. There may be even believers that are not aware of it, but that doesn't matter. Keep following Christ and be at peace.